Okay, we're ready to go?
Uh-huh.
Okay, very good. Okay, welcome to the City of China Grove. This is the March 10th, 2021 court docket. Before we go any further, I just need to make some announcements and give you all some instructions. That way the process will run a little smoother. First, understand that we are live streaming on YouTube. So do not give out any personal information that you want out there on the web. For those individuals that are joining us on YouTube, these are legal proceedings and they are not to be recorded. For the individuals that are here on today's docket, whether by video or audio, you are not to record these proceedings as well as they are legal proceedings. A few instructions. When I call your name, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the charges that are filed against you. Before I can do anything, I need to take a plea from you. Now, the three pleas that you need to be aware of is one, your plea of guilty, where you admit the charges filed against you, your plea of not guilty, where you deny the charges filed against you, or your plea of no contest, where you neither admit it nor deny it. You just want to take care of the business before the court and move on. For our purposes here today, there is no difference between the guilty plea and the no contest plea. The only time that you'll really see it come into play is, let's say, for example, you're cited with running a red light and then you have an accident. Well, if you enter a plea of guilty on the citation, they can use that plea against you in a civil case. Whereas if you plead no contest, they would not be able to use that against you. They would actually have to prove that you ran the red light. Like I said, but for our purposes here, there really is no distinction. Now, the reason I point out the plea of guilty and no contest is because the cases that we hear at this level are criminal in nature. As a result of that, it triggers certain constitutional rights that you need to be aware of. The four important rights that you should be aware of. The first one is you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything that would incriminate yourself. And certainly if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, you would be incriminating yourself. You have a right to enter a plea of not guilty, and you can request a trial either in front of a judge or in front of a jury. You have the right to bring in witnesses to testify on your behalf with regard to the citation. And you have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses with regard to the citation. Once again, if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, you are waiving or you are giving up those rights. So please understand that. Okay, and I think we have, yes, we have some individuals with a commercial driver's license, but they're non-moving. Okay, so I'll dispense with that. We do have some individuals that are under the age of 25. For those individuals, if you are under the age of 25 and you want a moving violation dismissed, you'll be required to take a defensive driving class. That is mandatory. Now, for everyone else, if you're 25 or older, or if you have a non-moving violation, there are two ways to get a ticket dismissed. One is to take a defensive driving class, which is the less expensive way to go. Or if you're not interested or if you don't qualify for defensive driving, then you can request what we call deferred disposition. It's just another word for probation. And what that basically means is that you can ask the court for deferred. If I do grant it, you will be required to pay a special expense fee, and you will be put on probation anywhere from 1 day to 180 days. And as long as you don't pick up a similar violation, then that citation will be dismissed. Any case that is dismissed will not be reported to the Department of Public Safety. Now, for those individuals that are here and they just want to pay the fine and move on, but you don't have the money, let me know. What we can do is that we can do a time pay. What that basically means is that we would give you 30 days to pay the fine or fines. If you pay up all your fine or fines, then you've satisfied your obligation to the court. However, if you do not, you would be put on a time payment plan with a minimum monthly payment of $50 until the balances are paid. Now, if I do put you in a time payment fee, there is a time payment fee that would be added to each citation that goes into a time pay. And that is $15 if the offense occurred after September 1st, 2019. With that, I think we are ready to go. I see where Mr. Mead has returned back, I think visiting with Mr. Baird. Mr. Mead, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Baird, can you unmute yourself as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
We
Yes,
talked briefly, Your Honor. I'm gonna need to take a couple of minutes in a breakout room with Clarissa before I can conclude my business with Mr. Baird.
Okay,
Can she leave you for a couple minutes to talk to me?
certainly, certainly.
Clarissa, can you hide in the breakout room with me for a minute?
You bet I can.
Okay.
I'm always ready to hide. See if I can find me on here. Oh gosh. I'm not on here to put in a breakout room. Let me just put you in there and then I will add myself to it.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute, Mr. Baird.
Oh, I think the way it works, I've encountered this in other dockets before. I think there needs to be another host. I don't think the only host can go to a breakout room.
Oh,
So I think if you assign a co-host, I think then it'll let you go. I think.
Chris,
okay.
if you want to make me a co-host, I can.
Okay, let me close the room again.
I could be wrong.
No, I think you're probably right.
I'm back.
Yes, you are, because I got to try to figure out how to get back in there with you.
It told me to leave.
No, I kicked you out of there. You're not going in there by yourself. That's not right. Okay, so Michael, does the judge need to send us in there now, or can I send us in now?
That I'm not sure.
Well,
But
you
I
know
just-
what? I am probably not the host. Oh, I probably need to make you the host, Judge.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I need to make you the host. Let me do that. And then you could just make me host when we're done.
Have we just got one page here? Am I looking at this correctly?
No, there's 5. There's 5. You received 5, right, Judge?
No, I'm talking about one page of
Yes.
pictures.
Oh,
One
yeah,
page
yeah,
of pi-
yeah. There's just one page. Oops. Do you want to change the host to Judge Morales? Yes. Okay. Okay, Judge. Do you
Okay,
remember
now
how
do
to go to the bottom and just click on breakout room and then you can pick us?
okay. Okay. Okay, I've got a room 2 with Mr. Mead. Now, how do I put you
You
in
see
there?
me in there? It should be under court clerk, Clarissa, maybe. Let's see.
No, I don't, I just see Mr. Mead.
See. Well, I'm not the host anymore. Hey, Mr.
Well-
Mead, how about, can you call me on my cell phone? And I'll just
Sure.
step out of here.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, Judge, make me the host again before
Oh.
you get too busy with your other.
And do I need to do that? What do I need to do?
Just click on the dots, probably if you hover at the top of my name. My picture. Do you see the
Yes.
dots? If you click on those dots, it should say make host or as one of the options.
Well, I'm clicking on the dots, but it doesn't
Let's
just
see.
show the hand icon. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Make host.
Then it'll ask you, do you want to make me the host?
There you go. You are now the host.
Okay, great. John, which phone are you calling me on, my personal cell or on the city? On
I
the
don't-
Susan
which one you want
phone?
me to call you on?
Call me on my personal cell.
Clarissa, can you mute yourself and
Yes.
Mr. Mead? That way I can talk a little bit more to the people.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for your patience with regard to this little technicality. But Mr. Mead and Clarissa, my court clerk, will join us shortly. For those individuals that are on video and even on audio, if you will raise your right hand, I'm going to administer an oath to you. And then for those individuals that are on the phone or by audio, I'll ask you when I call your case up. But for every individual that is here, okay, do you swear the testimony you're about to give in this call will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Mr. Miranda, if you'll give me a thumbs up if you acknowledge taking the oath. Very good. Thank you, sir. Mr. John Minor, would you acknowledge taking the oath by giving me a thumbs up, sir? Very good. Thank you. Annette Johnson, can you acknowledge taking the oath by giving me a thumbs up? Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Bryson Simpson, can you give me a thumbs up? Thank you, sir. Takina Robinson, can you give me a thumbs up if you acknowledge taking the oath? Thank you, ma'am. Jose Castillo, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? If you can give me a thumbs up, sir. Thank you. Giovanni Reyes, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Very good. Thank you. Okay, for the other individuals that are just on audio, I'll ask you as we call your case up. But for now, if y'all could just be a little more patient, we'll get underway.
Okay, Judge, I'm going to go ahead and send Mr. Baird and John back into a breakout room real quick.
Okay.
Okay, and I have one person I believe I need to let back in. I don't know if they knocked themselves out or what happened. Hi, if you just joined us again, can you, there you go. Is your last 3 digits of your phone number 909?
Yes. Yes.
What is your name?
Devin Braun. I got disconnected
okay.
from the call.
All right, Devin. I'll log you back in.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Judge.
Okay.
I believe
why don't we
once
do this?
John Mead comes back, I believe that Attorney Michael Baird is not going to need to join court again. He probably will disconnect from their meeting. So
Okay.
I'll have to worry about them coming back in.
Well, why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and give me the order.
Okay.
And then
So
when
the
John,
first one we have is on page 1. The middle of page 1, it's Jason Hansen, I'm sorry, Hansen.
okay, got him.
Number 2 is on page 4. Gonna be toward the bottom, Michael Cook.
Okay,
Number 3 is gonna be on page 4, and it is in the middle of the page. It's Luke Smetana.
he's number 3.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And on page 3, let me see if I can find her. I don't see, there she is, I'm sorry. Third person from the bottom, Chrisella Isaac is number 4.
okay,
Page 1. In the middle, it's Mauricio Miranda, a little below the middle, and he's number 5.
okay,
Then we're going back to page 4. At the bottom, the very last person is John Miner. He's number 6.
okay,
And go to page 3. The last person on the docket, on the page is Jose Castillo, number 7.
got him.
Back to page 4. At the top, Kevin Nogel. He's number
Number
8.
Okay,
And we're going to page 2. Toward the bottom, Tokina Robinson, 4th line up. She's number 9.
okay,
Still on page 2, we have Giovanni Reyes right in the middle. He's number 10.
Giovanni Reyes. Oh,
Yeah, it
there
starts
you
with
go.
a J. Yeah, there you go.
Got him.
Okay, go to page 4. And right below the first person on the docket is Annette Johnson. She's number
Okay.
11. Then
Okay,
if you go to the middle, we have Brian Cole Simpson is number 12.
okay,
Go to page 2. At the top, toward the top is Devin Braun.
okay,
He's number 13. Then I had Michael Baird for John Herbert as number 14. John Herbert is on page 1. He's the first 8 violations.
okay,
And they're back. And then our last one, Judge, is on page 1. Also, it's Ernest Hernandez down at the bottom. He's number 15.
got him.
Okay, and we have John and Michael back.
Okay, Mr. Mead, were y'all able to reach any kind of an agreement?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay, what do we have?
I needed to consult with Clarissa, but after consulting with Clarissa, we have some circumstances I believe are somewhat unusual here. There are 4 tickets that Mr. Barrett's client received in June of 2016 and 4 more in June of 2019. I made recommendations on all 8 through Clarissa to Mr. Barrett. After talking to Mr. Barrett, we're going to follow the recommendations I made on the 6/5/2019 set of tickets. I don't have that in front of me. Clarissa should have that.
I do.
And then and in return for him accepting the plea bargain on the June of 2019 tickets, and in addition to that, in return for him paying $950, which is the total amount of the special expense fees and fines on the June of 2019 tickets, I'm going to no price all 4 of the June 2016 tickets. Now, having said that, Mr. Baird, we discussed, and he's aware that if the $950 is not paid by 5 o'clock on Monday, then all 8 of the tickets go back on the docket.
Okay. Now, does Clarissa have them broken down?
She does.
I do.
Okay,
I can go through my emails and do it myself, but I think she's got it in front of her there.
I do. Do you want me to
The only
read?
reason I'm saying is that I need to take a plea on the ones that we're playing on. And the ones.
Yes.
Indeed.
So the ones that we're talking about taking a plea on, they're starting at the 5th line down on the
Okay.
docket, starting with 2017-3905 case.
Okay.
That one is, let me follow this. It's a little confusing right now. Hang on. Let's see. That one is for display wrong, fictitious, alternate registration insignia. I'm sorry. And that is a straight
Hold
fine
on.
of $3.
Clarissa, let me interrupt you. The case ending in 905, I show as an expired registration.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. Oh, these are not in order on my list. Okay, that's what the problem is. On my other list that I'm comparing it to. Okay, that's going to be a TIC for expired registration.
Now, we're talking about the 2019 registration, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's TIC.
Okay.
Okay, then the next one is display wrong, fictitious, alternate registration insignia. That is a straight fine of $300.
And what's the plea on that? Mr. Baird, what's the plea to the displaying wrong fictitious plates?
Defendant enters a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
No contest. Okay. All right, Clarissa, then.
Okay, then we have expired operator's license.
Okay.
That's a straight fine of $250.
Okay, Mr. Baird, how does your client plead to the expired operator's license?
Defendant pleads no contest, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to accept that plea.
And then the last one we have is failed to maintain insurance. That's deferred, $400, 6 months probation, and must maintain insurance during the probationary period and provide proof at the end of the probation.
Okay, and Mr. Baird, how does your client plead on the insurance ticket?
No contest, Your Honor.
No contest. Okay. All right, and then as I understand it, the state is going to non-prosecute pending payment of the $950, and it's due on what date, Mr. Mead?
Monday, I believe that is the
15th.
15th. Right?
15th, okay. And then once that is payment, then the other 4 that he received in 2016 will be dismissed. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Baird, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
That is, Your Honor, and further, I have already briefly, however, spoken with Mr. Herbert about that. He understands the requirements and the deadlines, and he expressed to me it won't be a problem at all.
Very good. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead, just for the record, I'm going to go ahead and accept the, or I'm going to follow the plea bargain agreement, and which is going to be as follows. With respect to the expired registration, the state is taking that into consideration, and that charge will be dismissed. With regard to the displaying wrong, fictitious, altered insignia, it's going to be a straight pay of $300. With respect to the expired operator's license, the defendant pleading no contest, it'll be a straight pay of $250. And then with regard to the failed to maintain insurance, Mr. Herbert will be placed on deferred for a period of 6 months, of which he will have to maintain insurance for that 6-month period without any lapse in coverage, and he will pay a deferred fee of $400. For the record, that upon satisfaction of the payment of $950, the citations that were issued on June the 7th, 2016 for speeding, no insurance, expired registration, and drove without lights when required will be non-prosecuted, and they will be dismissed at that time. Now, Mr. Mead, with regard to the deferred, because I understand it, once the payment is made of the $950, the 2016 cases will be dismissed. Now, what about with respect to the deferred period on the insurance ticket? Is that having any impact in the event that he were to default or not comply?
That will only, what my understanding is, that will only have an impact on the deferred for that violation itself, and that will then become a straight plea, and the deferred fee will be applied as a fine.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on December 15, 2021, assuming that he pays the $950, which I have no doubt that he will, then the 2016 cases will be dismissed. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Now,
Very good.
the only problem we might come up with on the deferred, on the insurance, is if he doesn't maintain insurance, he's violated his probation. And then
Right.
the deferred fee will be assessed as a fine.
Right, but that would have no impact on the 2016 cases.
Have no impact on anything but that one ticket, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Baird, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and follow the plea bargain agreement. Mr. Baird, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you. And do you have instructions as to where that payment's to be made or how it's going to be made?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mead and I discussed that, and I think he gave me the complete rundown.
Very good. Okay.
I think it's going to be paid at the window, probably in cash, from what I'm hearing. Is that
That's probably what he'll end up doing.
Very good.
Is get some cash, just go down there in person. Yes.
Okay, all
Mr.
right.
Baird, can you let him know our office hours Monday are 8:30 to 3:30?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
case
I
he
guess
comes, I
then we
want
need to
somebody to be
change it. So
there.
it's got, and then I guess, Your Honor, we need to change the terms that it's got to be paid
Oh,
by
that's right.
3:30. Would that be
Okay.
okay with you, Mr. Baird?
Sure, not a problem.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Baird, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor. You have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Mr. Baird.
Thank you, Mr. Mead.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get Mr. Mead in the breakout room.
Okay, who do we have? All right, Mr. Mead, you're kind of in this blind right now. So let me tell you, John Minor is on page 4 at the bottom. He has 3 violations. Mr. Minor, I'm going to go ahead and put you in a breakout room with Prosecutor John Mead, and you can talk to him about your case. Did you find him?
Oh, yeah, I did. Mhm.
Okay, should be at the very bottom.
Yes.
Okay. Ugh. Oh gosh, it's telling you to leave it. What the heck is going on here? I'm just going to close this
Yeah.
and start over. I don't know what it's doing.
Okay. It
All
gave
right.
me an invitation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Judge, are we starting with John Hanson? I think we completed the
Please.
docket. I left you with
Okay.
number 15, Ernest Hernandez, so we should be good with the docket in order.
Okay, all right, first
Um,
case is Jason Patrick Hansen.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hansen, let's see. If you can unmute yourself, sir. Very good. Okay, Mr. Hansen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Mr. Henson, I show that you are here on a show cause docket, and that basically means that you haven't done something that you were required to do, and we want to know why. And in your situation, it looks like you had a driver and safety certificate that was due on November 24th, 2020. Have you done the class, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the only other thing we can do, sir, that is just convert that over to a fine.
Back when I first got the ticket, I had spoke to the judge and the lady that worked there. I'm not too sure the name, but we had went over my case real quick, and she saw that I already had a driver safety course from that same year, and she offered me, like, I forgot what it's called exactly, but I think it's deferred adjudication or something like that.
Yeah, you
And-
probably
and
told us,
I
you
I
probably
had went
told
on
us that you
probation.
had taken it, because we wouldn't have no way of knowing that, but you probably told us you had taken it recently, so we said you can't take another one. So you would need
Yes, ma'am.
to, so you requested
So
deferred.
I needed to go. Yes, ma'am. And so when I went that route, I had paid the fine and everything, and I went on 6 months probation. And I in my understanding, I thought it was dismissed. I thought it was taken care of after the fine has been paid and the 6 months have been worked out. But it was my understanding that I didn't have to do one, and that's my fault. And if I do need to do one, I am more than welcome to do one. And it was just a miscommunication.
Well,
Judge, he did pay the $295 in full. He did sign the deferred order stating that he had to complete a state certified driving safety certificate and present it by the end of the deferment. And it was 90 days deferment. And initialed that clause that he,
when did the deferred end?
November 24th.
Oh, okay, so that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, Mr. Hanson, I don't know what to say. I mean, here we are in March. And
Yes, sir. That's why I in my understanding, I wasn't sure that anything was still going on. I thought it was all taken care of. And yes, sir, that's my fault and my misunderstanding.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show that you have not done the class. I'm going to go ahead and revoke the deferred, and we'll just go ahead and apply the $295 as a straight pay. But that'll bring the case to a close.
Okay. And would I have to do the driver safety course?
No.
Because it would be no problem to do it.
Well, if the problem has been 4 months.
Yes, sir. And I wasn't sure that I wasn't aware that I had to take it. And yes, sir. If it's a fine, it's a fine, and it by all means I would do anything. But it was just a whole misunderstanding. I thought it was taken care of through a different way, and it was a misunderstanding, sir.
The paperwork does show that he was supposed to complete the defensive driving class. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, Mr. Hanson, is that the paperwork shows that you acknowledged that you had to take the class.
And yes, sir. And when I had received that paper in the mail the first time, that's when I had came up with the question if I needed to take it twice in the same year. And now, in my understanding, you have to take one every ticket. And I fully understand that now. But back when I first got my ticket, she had explained to me that that since I had saw it on my thing and I came across that question whether I needed to take it twice a year, I had called in and asked her like, hey, do I need to take it again? And then she was like, that's when we had set it up the deferred adjudication, because we went throughout through a different process. And I wasn't explaining that I had to still do a driver safety course because I thought we were just taking a different route. Because of the fact that I didn't know if you had to take it twice a year, if it didn't matter. I didn't know none of that. And yes, sure, I should have looked it up or something, but it was just a miscommunication.
I do always make an announcement, as I did today, that if you're under the age of 25, to get a ticket dismissed, you have to take the defensive driving.
I wasn't present for a Zoom meeting or a call. It was all just handled over the phone with the worker from the place.
Oh, I see.
Like I didn't talk to the judge or nothing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, can you do the class within 2 weeks, sir?
Yes, sir. I can do the class within 2 weeks.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna go ahead and extend to do the class for 2 weeks. Now, it
Yes,
needs
sir.
to be done within 2 weeks, Mr. Hanson. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And if not, it's just going to go to straight pay and it'll show up on your driving record.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Hanson?
No, he just needs to be sure to bring that certificate and make sure you sign it before you turn it in.
Okay, and it's 2 weeks from this date?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right, unless you have any other questions, Mr. Hanson, you're excused, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Mead, let's see. You were here with Mr. Minor, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, where is Mr. Minor? There he is. Mr. Minor, can you unmute yourself, sir? Very good. Okay,
This is Mr. Minor's first appearance. He's got 2 insurance and 1 driver's license ticket. I
Okay.
told Mr. Minor that until he gets a driver's license, gets insurance, there's not much we can do to help him. This is his first appearance and he would like a reset to clean up his driver's license and get some insurance. And I think based on the way things have been going lately, that we probably should give him 60 days because getting it done in 30 days, sometimes they fall short. So just to
Okay.
decide if we give him a 60-day reset, when he comes back, we can take care of this case.
okay, Mr. Minor, do you understand that we're going to reset your case for 60 days, sir?
Understood, sir.
Very good. And I'd like to see if you can get your license squared away before then or no later than that day.
Understood, sir. I'm just waiting for a warrant charge to process. Once it's processed, Fayette County will lift my suspension within 24 hours. So as soon as that's taken care of, it's just straight paperwork on my side for the insurance and reinstatement.
Okay, is there any doubt in your mind that you'll be able to do that within the 60-day period?
There's no doubt, sir. It'll be taken care of.
Very good. Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Minor?
Mr. Minor, are you still on Creek Street?
Negative, ma'am.
Okay, don't give your address right now. Can you
Okay.
please call our court number? It's
Uh,
listed on the screen. Do you see the 648 number on the screen by any chance? It might not be showing on yours.
I do not. I have.
Okay, that's okay. Do you have something to write with or?
Yes, ma'am.
210-648-4923. If you can give them a call real quick, they can get your new address so that we can get your reset done and sent to the correct place.
Yes, ma'am. And just to verify real quick, it was 210-648-4923.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give them a call right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
Thank you, Mr. Minor.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay,
John, can I
Clarissa.
send you into a breakout room with Kevin Nigel?
I
He is
guess.
on page 4 at the top.
I don't have a choice about this, right?
No, you don't.
Not today.
When I
Okay,
said can, I meant I'm going to send you.
okay. That's,
Sorry. With all due respect,
hey,
of
I gotta
course.
have a little fun. What the heck, right?
That's right. Entertain ourselves here. All right, Judge, it's going to leave us with Michael Cook, and he
Michael
is on
Cook.
page 4 as well.
Got
He's
him.
number
Okay,
2.
Mr. Cook, can you unmute yourself, sir? Very
Yes,
good.
I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Cook, you're charged with the offense. Well, you know what, before I do that, Mr. Cook, earlier I administered an oath. Do you acknowledge taking that oath, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Mr. Cook, you've been charged with the offense of speeding, and it's alleged you were doing 56 and a 45. Now, I do show that you are under the age of 25. How do you plead to that charge, sir?
Yes, sir. I was speeding. I plead guilty.
The guilty, okay. And now, being that you're under 25, did you want to take the defensive driving class?
Yes, I would love to do that.
Okay, let me ask you 4 questions. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you insured or insured at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir. I was insured.
Okay, have you taken the class within the last 12 months to get a ticket dismissed?
No, sir.
All right, and can you pay $144 in court cost?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and grant your request for defensive driving. We're gonna ask you to call the court so you can pay the $144 court cost. Now, that would be all you pay the court. You pay nothing else. However, whatever
Awesome.
school you select, they're gonna charge you their fee, and it runs about $50. And then you'll have to get a copy of your driving record. That'll cost you either 10 or 12, depending on whether you do it by mail or online. And then once you get that in within that 90-day period, then the case will be dismissed.
Okay.
Okay, now do you have the number to the court for payment of the court costs?
No, sir.
Okay, Clarissa, do you want to give him, maybe give that to everyone right now?
Sure, if everybody's got a pen. What do you have, Hanson? Or Minor? Oh, okay, it's 210-648-4923.
Okay, all right, Mr. Cook, did you get that?
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, so what I'd like for you to do is call the court today, get that paid, and then get that class done so we can get this citation dismissed.
Okay, sounds good. Where would I go to take the class? It'd be online somewhere?
They're going to give you that information. Is that correct, Clarissa?
Yeah, they can take any state certified driving safety course they choose. They're always online right now, or at least they have been up until now because of the virus. But yeah, they're, as long as it says on the home screen, you can just Google defensive driving, Texas defensive driving courses. And on the home screen, it'll say state approved course or approved by the state of Texas. They're usually $25. If you find them for 5 or 10, they're not going to be an approved course. So
Okay.
you can go on there. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, Mr. Cook, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you. Thank you for appearing, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, his
All right.
plea was no contest, right? Is that what he said?
No,
Or did he say guilty? Guilty.
Guilty,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And then we don't have John Mead back. So our next one is going to be Luke Smetana. And he is on
Smetana.
page 4.
Okay, Mr. Smetana, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes,
There
Your
you
Honor.
go. Mr. Smetana, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Smetana, you have 2 citations. The first one is failed to maintain insurance. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
No contest.
No contest. All right. Okay, and tell me what your situation. Do you have insurance now?
No, sir. I have recently had the car repossessed. I surrendered it.
So what did you want to do with this citation, sir?
Well, what are my options for it?
Well, basically, since you don't have any insurance, the only thing we can do is just do a straight pay of $256.
Of $256?
$266.
Okay. I can pay 100 now, and then I will get paid again in 2 weeks. And
Okay.
we can pay the rest off that way. That's allowed.
So you'll be able to pay within 30 days, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, did you write that number down that Clarissa gave earlier? Telephone number?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, if you'll go ahead and call in that payment of $100. Now, with respect to the second charge of failed to provide evidence of insurance, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that since you did not have insurance at the time, so that'll be a dismissal.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay? Any questions, Mr. Spitano?
No, sir.
Very good. Okay, sir, will you excuse, make sure you call in and make that payment.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mead is back. Let's see, and Mr. Mead,
Mr. Nogel.
let's see, what page is he on?
He's on page 4 at the very top.
Got him. Okay. Okay, Mr. Mead, let's see, was Mr. Noble in the courtroom?
Yes,
There
sir.
you
Yes.
go. Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Mead, were you able to reach an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what do we have?
On the first two violations, Mr. Nogle's going to pay a straight fine. On the expired registration, he's going to pay the recommended fine. On the driving with license invalid or suspended, he's going to pay the recommended fine. On the failure to maintain insurance, I'm recommending 6 months deferred, $300 deferred fee condition that he maintain insurance for the 6 months. And then as so many times we talked about, I'm going to no price the failure to provide evidence of insurance.
Okay.
With the
Okay,
court-
Mr. Noble, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Your Honor,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Nogle is going to pay the $300 on the 6 months deferred today. And he said he could pay the balance of the other two fines within the 30 days.
Okay, so that'll be a time pay on that. All right. Okay, I'm just making some notes. Okay, Mr. Noble, that is your understanding of the agreement, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to the charge of an expired registration, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, and Mr. Noble, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest to the charge of an expired registration. Order a fine be paid within 30 days for $116.
Okay.
To the charge of driving while license invalid or suspended, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest. Order a straight pay of $236.
Okay.
And you'll be on time pay to be paid within 30 days. To the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
No contest.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 6 months with a special expense fee of $300, and you have to maintain insurance for 6 months. The
Okay.
$300 special expense fee will be paid today. And then with regard to the failed to provide evidence of insurance, the state is non-prosecuting that charge, and that charge will be dismissed. Mr. Noble, did you take down the phone number of the court so you can make that payment?
210-648-4923.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Noble, unless you have any questions, sir, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you.
Okay. Where do I pay this? Just online or?
Give that phone number, call that phone number and they can walk you through it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Clarissa, does Mr. Mead have anybody else?
He does. He has Ernesto Hernandez, and he is on page 1. Oh, I'm not on page 1.
He's at the bottom of the page. I found him, Clarissa.
Okay. Let me send y'all in there. Mr. Hernandez, if you can unmute yourself, you're going to go in the breakout room.
Okay.
It's pretty unmuted. Okay.
Okay, so we have on page 3, Chrisella Marie Isaac. Is that correct, Clarissa?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Isaac, if you can unmute yourself. All right, very good. Miss Isaac, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier?
Yes.
Okay, let's, you've been charged with the offense of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 74 in a 60. You are under the age of 25. To that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, ma'am. And did you want to do the defensive driving class?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you 4 questions. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes.
Okay, are you insured or were insured on the day of the citation?
Yes.
Okay, and have you taken the defensive driving class within the last 12 months to get a ticket dismissed?
No.
Okay, and can you pay $144 court cost?
Yes.
All right, would you be able to pay that today?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grant your request for defensive driving. If you would call that number and pay the court cost, and then you can take the class.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No. Once I give them my name, they'll know what it would be under, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Just
Okay.
make that phone call and they'll find your jacket.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I was in there by myself.
Oh, no. It shows he went in.
Well, he's in the, he's
Oh.
back.
Right here, though.
Okay, did you get an invitation saying to join the
No.
breakout room?
No, I did not. It just came out to some girl's name right there on the front screen. I'm right here, though.
Okay, let me try that again. And it's Ernesto Hernandez, right?
Correct.
That's who I sent. Okay, let me try this again.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Okay. That is
Uh-oh.
Mauricio
You know,
Miranda.
it still shows him here, Judge. I wonder if he's got two there he goes. Okay, it just went.
Got him?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have Mauricio Miranda. Let's see, Mr. Miranda, where are you? There you are. Can you unmute yourself, sir? Okay, Mr. Miranda, let's see. You're here on a show cause hearing. It looks like you had a alcohol awareness certificate due on November 24th. And Clarissa, do I understand that he completed it on the 28th?
Yes, I do have it. He just completed it after the fact, so we wanted it to go through you.
Okay, Mr. Miranda, why did you take it late, sir, or did you?
I'm not gonna lie, sir. I was working in the warehouse and they started asking a lot of us, so it kind of got pushed to my mind that it was at the end of the month, and that's where I'm mistaking the days towards the end of the week. I'm sorry. I wanted to apologize.
All right, well, that's okay. I mean, all right, very good. Well, the important thing is that you took it. I'm going to go ahead and accept it. And will that wind up being a dismissal, Clarissa?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Miranda, case is going to be dismissed. You're free to go, sir.
Thank you so much. You have a good day. God bless.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, Clarissa, then let's see, who's number 7? Down on page 3, Jose Castillo.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castillo, can you unmute yourself, sir? Very good. Mr. Castillo, you're on the phone. You acknowledge taking the oath earlier, that I administered earlier?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Castillo, you have a charge of failed to maintain insurance. To that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
No contest. Okay. What did you want to do with this citation, sir?
After I got pulled over, I got the insurance.
Were you covered at the time of the stop?
Yes, sir. But I didn't have the proof of that paper with me.
Okay, but you were covered on that day when they stopped?
Yes, sir. But I didn't have the paper with me.
Why are you pleading no contest?
Well, proper thing to say.
I'm having some static there, Mr. Castillo.
Pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. The stack's messed up.
There's something you can do to clear that out.
There. You hear me?
Are you on your speakerphone?
No, I'm on the laptop.
Oh. Okay, maybe if you turn the volume down.
Turn it down. How you turn it down?
I don't know. There's probably little speaker looking buttons above the numbers. Look like little microphones and it reminds
Yeah, I
you
got
of
you. That better?
maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Right there?
I don't know. It's a little better.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You muted it. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You're having a hard time.
No, well, I got insurance. I thought I had it, but I went to go get the policy the next day.
Okay, so but my question is this: at the time that you were stopped by the officer, were you covered?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. All right. So that explains that. Okay. What do you want to do with this citation?
Well, there's any way I can dismiss it due to the fact that I got insurance the next day.
Well, unfortunately, no, I can't do it because at the time of the stop, you were not covered, but I can put you on probation if you'd like.
Nah, no, sir. I don't want probation.
You just want to pay the fine?
There's any way I could just do jail time? Because I can't afford it. If I didn't have insurance during that time, I won't be able to do it because of the pandemic, you know?
Well, are you employed?
Yes, sir. But I got 5 kids to take care of.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? We're going to send you we call an indigency packet. And it calls for financial information and access to that information. Go ahead and fill that out, get it back to us, and we'll see if you qualify for being indigent. And if I do make it a finding of indigency, then you don't have to pay any fines.
All right, but I got a question, sir. If by chance, if it doesn't go my that way, and I still have to pay, what are my alternatives?
Well, then at that point, if you do not qualify for indigency, then we can look at time pay or we can look at community service.
Well, can I just do the community service? Because I ain't gonna lie to you or lie to myself because I ain't gonna pay. I'd rather just do the jail time with no probation.
Okay, so you just want to do community service to pay the fine?
Well, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grant your request. Let me tell you how many hours you're gonna do. Okay, you're gonna do 21 hours of community service. Okay, and that's gonna be at any church or civic organization.
Yes, sir.
And give you 60 days to do that.
Okay, Judge, just to be clear, you said 60 days and how many hours?
21 hours.
21 hours. Mr. Castillo.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to mail you forms that you'll have to have the person that you're doing community service with fill out and document your time and hours. So you'll take the form that we send you and have them document it on this form and sign off on it, okay?
Where do I gotta return it to?
To the court.
So I gotta go in person to that little building
Yes.
in China Grove, right?
Yeah, you can either bring it in person or mail it to us. It's up to you.
10-4.
Okay, and like he said, you have 60 days to do that, but we're going to mail you the form. It'll have the due date on the form, and then you have the place that you're doing the community service with fill it out for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and let me ask you this real quick. Are you still on Norwood Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's where I'm going to mail the form, okay? So be looking for it. If you don't receive it in a few days, then you call us and let us know. Don't just wait for it, okay?
10-4.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Castillo, we're gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir. You can log off.
All right, 10-4. Yeah, I'm going, man.
Okay, Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
Mr. Ernesto Hernandez Jr., Young.
Okay, he's on page 1.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, and let's see, Mr. Hernandez.
he's here. Okay, yeah, he's unmuted.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Mead, were you able to reach an agreement?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay, listen up, Mr. Hernandez. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Mead.
On there's the first violation, stop, stand, park at prohibited place.
Yes.
I'm going to recommend 60 days deferred, $175 deferred fee. On the failure to maintain insurance, 6 months deferred for $300 deferred fee. And conditionally maintain insurance. On the third violation of no driver's license, I'm going to take that in consideration, request the court to dismiss. Mr. Hernandez is going to pay the court cost on those tickets today in the total of $153 by my calculation. And he wants 30 days to pay the balance of $322 on his deferred fees.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, now, Mr. Hernandez, to the charge of stop, stand, park in a prohibited place, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, and then to the charge of failed to provide evidence of insurance, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and follow the plea bargain agreement, which is as follows. With respect to the stop, stand, park prohibited places, I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 60 days with a special expense fee of $175. With regard to the failed to provide evidence of insurance, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 6 months with a special expense fee of $300, and you have to maintain insurance for 6 months. With regard to the no driver's license, the state is taking that into consideration and will be dismissed. With regard to payment, you will be paying $153, which will go towards the court cost today, and then you will have 30 days to pay the balance.
Correct.
Okay, and so all that is your understanding of the agreement. Is that correct, Mr. Hernandez?
Correct.
All right, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and set it into the jackets. Larissa, do we need anything from Mr. Hernandez?
Mr. Hernandez, are you coming by to pay this today?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
All right, and what time do y'all close, Clarissa?
we'll be here till about 4:30 today.
Okay. so
Maybe a
no
little
later than
later.
4:30.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. very good. All right, Mr. Hernandez, I'm gonna go excuse you. Thank you for your appearance, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Okay,
John, that's the last one we have with 3 or more.
okay.
That was the last one?
With 3 or more violations. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Hernandez, you may?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so next one is Tanika Robinson. Ms. Robinson, can you unmute yourself, ma'am? Very good. Ms. Robinson, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier?
Yes.
Very good. Oh, yeah, now I see you. Okay, Ms. Robinson, you've been charged with the offense of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 66 and a 50. To that charge, how do you plead?
I paid no contest.
No contest. Okay, and what did you want to do with the citation, ma'am?
How much is it?
Well, the fine is $250, but it goes on your record if you pay the fine. Even if I reduce the fine, it'll go on your record.
Um,
Now, there's the other options are defensive driving and probation.
no, I don't want to do probation because I'm a nurse. I can't do that. Can I just pay it? Can I get some time to pay it?
Sure, we can do that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and assess a fine of $200. And then we're gonna put you on a time pay.
Okay.
Now, what that basically means, you'll have 30 days to pay it. If you don't, then it will on a monthly payment, but then they'll tack on $15.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay, do you have any questions, Ms. Robinson?
No, I don't.
Larissa, do we need anything from Ms. Robinson?
Are you still in apartment 1303?
No, I just recently moved.
Okay, can you call the phone number we provided and give us your new address so we can mail your payment plan to you?
Okay.
We'll be processing that shortly, so if you can call them, soon and let them know, okay?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Bye.
All right. Okay, next one is Giovanni Reyes. Mr. Reyes, if you can
Page 2.
unmute yourself, sir.
He's on page 2, John, if you need.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. There you are. Okay, Mr. Reyes. Now, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Mr. Reyes, you are under the age of 25. Now, you have a charge here of an illegal window tint. Okay, has that been corrected?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have a?
Yes, sir. I took it off already.
Now, when you say do you mean you had someone do it or you did it yourself?
I did it myself.
Okay. Now, what I'd like for you to do is I want you to take a picture of that vehicle and send it over to us. Sorry?
You don't mind me showing you right now? It's right here.
Okay, well, I need a copy for the file, so if you can take a picture and text it. Can you take a
Giovanni,
picture?
open.
Okay.
Giovanni, if you open up the car door and take a picture through the window, we can see clearly that way. It's hard to see with the doors closed.
Okay, yeah, you want me to do it right now or?
Sure, yeah, take it right now while you're out there and you can go ahead and text it to us.
All right, that number you gave us in the beginning.
Well, it'll be a different number because the land that I gave you, the number I gave you in the beginning is a landline, so I'm gonna need to give you a cell phone.
Okay.
But I can give you that to you as you walk back in after you take the picture.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll text you in a bit after I take the pictures.
Okay.
Okay, now with regard to the,
I'll get that number.
Okay.
does he have that number, Clarissa?
Are you wanting that right now, Giovanni?
Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. It's 210-837.
210.
837. 3704.
Okay, 210-837.
370.
3704.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Giovanni, you want to do that first or you want to take care of the other one first?
No, I'll do that after the
Okay.
conference. I'll text it.
Okay, now we need to get that before we let you go, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll take a picture right now. Well, I don't know. I'm on the phone,
Okay,
so
yeah,
I'll have
we're here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll get back with you if there's a problem on that one.
Okay.
Okay, now, with respect to the wrong, fictitious, or altered obstructed license plates, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, and what do you want to do on that one?
I took those off already as well.
Well, yeah, but what was the problem? Why were they wrong or fictitious or altered?
Oh no, they had smoke plates on them. Smoke coverings.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were illegal.
They're like a tinted cover over the top, like a smoked out color.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I didn't
So
know
he
they were
took-
illegal because they put them at AutoZone, so I thought they were illegal here in Texas. And he
Oh.
told me they're not.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, go ahead and take a picture of that as well. Get them over to us. And then if I show you in compliance, we'll go ahead and dismiss it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions? Okay, Mr. Reyes, I'm going to go ahead and release you, sir.
Mr. Reyes, as soon as you
Okay, so I'll
send
send the
those,
pictures out right now.
Mr. Reyes, as soon as you send those, once we get them, we'll need to print them out and then you'll have to pay a compliance dismissal fee unless it's waived, Judge. I don't know.
No, there'll be the fee. What is it, $10?
It's $10 for each one.
$10 for each one.
So it'd be a total of $20 compliance dismissal fees that we would go ahead and assess after you send the pictures. So you'll have to call us so that you can pay that $20 over the phone with a credit or debit card, okay?
I got cash. I don't
Well,
know
uh-oh.
if you want me to go over there. You could just see.
Okay, well, you broke up real bad. Did you say you have cash and you're gonna come pay it over here?
Yes, ma'am. And she could see the car.
Giovanni, you're in a bad spot, Giovanni. You're breaking up real bad.
Yourself as well, if you want to see it, or if you still want the pictures.
Yeah, we'll still need to see the pictures because we'll have to have them for your file.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. So still take the pictures of both the
Hello?
plates. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay.
Take the pictures of the windows and the plates, so we'll have them for your file, okay? We can't dismiss them without having something in the file showing that you complied.
Okay, and the $20 you just want me to take them to you today?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, we'll be here till about 4:30, so bring them by, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. I'll take off right now.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
Well, if you don't mind, can you
Can I what?
give me your address as well?
Sure. Yeah, it's 2412 FM, like Farm Market,
2412.
You're breaking up bad, Giovanni.
Okay.
Okay, 2412 FM, like Farm Market Road. FM 1516 South.
2412 FM 115. You said?
15, yeah, 1516, 1516. Okay,
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate
all right. You have a good one.
All right, you can log off, Mr. Reyes. Okay, Annette Johnson.
All right. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Too.
Ms. Johnson, can you unmute yourself, ma'am? Should be a little microphone there that on the lower left-hand corner. There
I
you
got
go.
it. Sorry.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you have two offenses here. One is it's speeding. It's alleged you were doing 63 and a 50. To that charge, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let you visit with Mr. Mead, the prosecutor, to work something out.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Just stand by.
Okay.
Tell me where she is.
He's on page 4. Page 4, the second one down, after Mr. Nagel.
Okay.
Okay, here you go. All right, Judge, we have Bryson Simpson
Okay.
on page 4.
Mr. Sen, there you go. Okay, Mr. Simpson, now you are under the age of 25, and you're charged with the offense of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 90 and a 60. To that charge, how do you plead?
So if I plead guilty, am I still able to do the defensive driving?
Well, you can only do it as a condition of probation, which means that I would have to put you on probation. That would be a special expense fee, but you would still have to do the class.
Can I call my, this is the first time I've ever been on Zoom. Can I call my mom and ask her what I should do?
Sure. Do you want just a reset?
No, definitely not. She told me to plead guilty as long, because I know I was speeding, just as long as I can do defensive driving to get it off my record.
Well,
So-
you can do it, but that has to be as a condition of deferred, which means that it's going to be a higher deferred fee.
And and how much do I owe now?
Well, right now you would owe $319. But if you pay that fine, it's going to go on your driving record and the insurance company is going to catch wind of it.
Okay, I'm just gonna, she'll answer right away. I'm just gonna tell her real quick.
Okay, well, why don't you stand by and then we'll be right back to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Judge, do you want to tell him what the special expense fee would be if he did deferred, so he can ask her which one before,
Yeah. that's
because he's
right.
probably gonna have to call her back after, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I have her on the phone right now, so.
Okay, well, let her know that the special expense fee would be $350.
So that's to
The-
keep it off your record would be $350. Do you understand that, Bryson?
Yes, sir.
$350 to keep it off your record, because if you just pay the $319, it will go on your record.
So if I just pay the $319, it's on my record. If I pay $350, it's off my record, and I can't do defensive driving, it's gonna have to be in probation.
Oh,
You'll be on probation and have to do driving safety.
Oh, I'll be on probation and defensive driving. I can't just do defensive driving. I'm not, yeah, I don't,
and the reason for it is because you're doing over 24 miles over the speed.
because I did over 24 over the speed limit.
Okay, so you have to do defensive driving and deferred unification.
Yeah,
Correct.
or I can pay $350 and get it off my record.
Right.
Okay,
319.
$319, and but that, if I pay $319, it stays on my record.
That's correct.
So $350, and then that $350 puts you on probation. You'll be on deferred. And the deferred condition is pay $350, you're on probation, and you have to take the class.
You heard her?
And when do you take the class? You have to take it at your own discretion, or?
I take the class at my own discretion. When do I take it?
It would be within the probationary period. In this particular case, it would be 5 months.
5 months.
Okay, so you have 5 months to take that. Okay, and then what? You gotta turn in a certificate you completed it, or?
Yes, turn the certificate in that 5-month period, and it would stay off of his record as long as he paid the $350.
And what about probation?
That is probation. You just can't get a ticket in China Grove jurisdiction during that time period.
Yeah, if you get a ticket in that, 5
kind of
months,
like you
you're
were
jacked.
telling me.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
just drive like a grandma. Okay. I'll do that.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, but okay, so how are you paying? How do you guys pay for it? Today, or how does that work?
I have how long to pay? It's the 6484923 number, right? That's what I call to pay.
Yes, that number is the number you would call to pay. That's correct.
And then I have till when to pay the 350?
No, 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 no.
Oh, 319. I'm sorry.
You
No,
have to
350.
You have to pay at least $134 today before I put you on probation. And then
Okay.
I would give you the 5 months to pay the balance.
To pay the rest of the, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we'll pay, I'll transfer 150 right now. You pay the 130 something and,
Okay.
okay.
And so I just call the number and then do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'll do it right now. Love you, bye.
Okay.
Okay, so then, Mr. Simpson, how do you plead to that charge? Contest.
Guilty. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of guilty. I'm gonna go ahead and place you on deferred for 120 days. Assess a special expense fee of $350. You will pay $150 today, and then the balance will be due at the end of the 120 days.
So basically another 250.
Well, I think, no, it's actually,
Another-
it would be
200,
yeah,
right?
200.
200. Okay. Oh yeah, my math. I'm sorry. I go to East Central.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and now no similar violations.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, most grandmas that I know drive the speed limit. So if you're gonna drive like a grandma, just keep it at or under the speed limit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sir.
Thank y'all for y'all's help. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Y'all- Yes, sir. You too.
Bye.
He's funny. I'm sorry, I don't know. I go on East Central. That's funny. Gotta love the kids.
Then we have
Uh,
Evan Braun. Number
Evan,
13.
Devon?
Yeah, Devon Ryan Braun. Okay, Mr. Braun, if you can unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, Mr. Braun, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Braun, let me find you here on my sheet here. I'll make sure we give you credit and nobody else. Okay, Mr. Braun, you have a charge of an improper lane change. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay, if you will stand by, you will speak to the prosecutor, see if y'all can work something out. Now, if you cannot work something out, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Possibly. I would like to talk to the prosecutor.
Okay, all right, we'll wait. All right, but now if you don't reach an agreement, I'll be asking you that question again, okay?
Okay.
All right, so
Judge-
just stand by.
Judge, it doesn't state it on there, but Mr. Braun is 23 years old.
Wow, okay. Completely not guilty.
I'm only 22.
Oh, you're 22?
Tell him
Oh, they got him as 23 on here.
on the ticket, tell him there's quite a bit wrong.
There's quite a bit mistake of facts on my ticket.
Okay, we'll talk to the prosecutor about that, okay?
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Just stand by, Mr. Braun.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
I was visiting with Miss Johnson.
And where is she at?
I'm assuming she's on her way back. There she is.
Oh, what page is she on?
It's on page
Oh.
4, Judge.
Page 4. Okay, Ms. Johnson is back.
Yeah, she pled.
You're only
she
able to
had-
reach an agreement.
Originally, our shared a plea of not guilty, and so you sent her to the room with me.
Yes.
You didn't call both cases. You only called the speeding, and she has two charges. One's illegal wind detent, and the other is speeding.
Right.
My recommendation to the court is in return for a plea of no contest on the speeding. I'm going to recommend the court grant Ms. Johnson 60 days deferred with a special expense fee of $250. And I'm going to take into consideration the wind detent case and ask the court to dismiss it.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Johnson, is that the agreement that you reached with the state?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Now, initially to the charge of speeding, you had entered a plea of not guilty. Do you want to change your plea?
Do no contest?
No contest. Okay, now are you doing that freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest to the speeding charge. I'm going to follow the plea bargain agreement. I'm going to place you on deferred for 60 days with a special expense fee of $250, no similar offenses. And then the state is taking into consideration the window tint, and that charge will be dismissed. Is that all of it, Mr. Mead?
I don't know about the payment of the 250. Can you pay that today, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, did you
You
get the
want to pay
phone
it by
number?
coming to the China Grove City Hall?
If you need me to, I can go in. I mean, I was gonna go and take my husband lunch anyway. He hasn't eaten.
You can either come in or you can call the number, the court number and pay over the phone, however you'd rather do it.
Okay, that's fine. I have both. I have the information.
Okay. There's a service charge, is that correct?
Yeah,
Larissa?
if you pay with a credit or debit card, either in person or on the phone or online, there's going to be that 5% processing fee. The only way to not pay that is to pay with a cashier's check, money order, or cash.
Oh, okay. I'll go get cash and I'll go take it to you guys.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mead, Mr. Braun is entering a plea of not guilty. Let's see, where is he at, Clarissa?
Mr.
And on page 2, Devin Braun.
Page 2 at the top, toward the top.
Yeah. And he has entered a plea of not guilty to the improper lane change, and he has not made a plea on the failure to maintain insurance.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and while you're doing that, Clarissa, I guess we need to call the docket.
See if it asks them to, there we go. All right, Judge, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the docket. These are the individuals that did not appear for the March 10th, 2021 court docket. Page 1, Roxanne Marcial Avila, no show. Jessica Cullum Ward, no show. Warren Keith Hendricks, no show. Gordon Eugene Mahan, no show. Adan Vargas, no show. Liliana Rodriguez de la Garza, no show.
That Miss Garza did come in a short time ago and paid for defensive driving class.
Paid for defensive driving. Okay, very good. So we have it. Okay, onward to page 2. Albert Milton Jr. has 3 violations as a no-show. Walker Cole Dury as a no-show. Antonio Devon Rouse, 3 violations, no-show. Yita Ratke Little as a no-show. Andrea Samantha Lucero as a no-show. Raymond H. Flores, 3 violations, no show. Bethany Flores, no show. Alberto Medina Berlanga, 2 citations, no show. On to page 3. Isaiah Lira has 5 citations, no show. Muriel Shelton, 3 violations, no show. Brandon Mark Fritcher, 5 violations as a no-show. Sharon Ray Fisher as a no-show. On to page 4. Ivan Rodriguez, 3 violations, no-show. Hayden Dell Elkins, 2 violations, no-show. William Alexander Reyes, no-show. And on to page 5, we got Michael J. Clark, 2 violations, no show. Okay, so we are just waiting.
We had a small docket this time. It was kind of nice.
Yes, it wasn't too bad at all.
The next one's gonna not be that way. It's a kind of big one already, but.
Okay, let's see, Mr. Mead is back.
And there is Mr. Braun.
Mr. Braun is back. Okay, let me just, okay, here he is on page 2. Okay, Mr. Mead, were y'all able to reach an agreement?
No, Your Honor, Mr. Braun wants to persist in his plea of not guilty to
Okay.
both charges. And
Okay. to
I
both
didn't
charges?
ask him whether he wanted jury or non-jury, but the court can.
I'll ask him, yeah. Mr. Braun, since y'all were not able to reach an agreement, the only resolution is to have a trial. Now, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
A jury.
Okay, we're gonna set it down for a jury trial on both cases. Okay, sir, we will be notifying you. You will be required to make a pretrial conference appearance. And then once we get past that, then we'll set it down for a jury trial as soon as we can make that happen. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can hang up?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Have a good day.